Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and beautiful little lovelies out there. Okay, I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delish, and that life is treating you most deliciously wherever you are. Well, the sun is shining, weather is sweet, yeah. So the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day, and I've been sunbathing because I love the sun and the sun loves me. Okay, my delicious babies, and that's the weather forecast at 20 past 10 a.m. in our old England, my delicious babies, in my Brummyland. Okay, now then, so I've got 3 videos for you today. Okay, my little lovelies. Okay. And right, and I hope that the weather's delicious wherever you are as well, okay? Now then, I haven't got my lights on today. They're really heavy around my neck. And I feel all, I've just not long had a shower, my delicious babies, and I'm feeling all flipping sticky. You know that sticky feeling already. Okay, so you jump out the shower, then when it's super duper hot, it's like you feel like you need another one. You know what I mean, my delicious babies? Anyway, I'm not complaining, not complaining. I love the sun and the sun loves me, okay? Now then, my delicious babies, so I've got 3 different videos today, my delicious babies, and my little Esmeralda, because she's meant to be a houseplant, but I left her outside, for a couple of days, and I've got to find a way now. I've got to try and see if I can, I don't know. Anyway, my delicious babies, it was very kind, to give me the plant, but anyway, we'll have to see, won't we, how we deal with this little cheese plant. Well, she's not little, she's rather large. Anyway, my delicious babies, now then, I'm usually pretty good at looking after plants, but well, if I'd have just kept her in the first place, then I wouldn't have had the problem, would I? Now then, my delicious babies. So, right, so here's the first one. So the first one, my delicious babies, happens to have 684,000 subscribers, my delicious babies. And the uploader's called, they're all on YouTube, by the way, my delicious babies. The uploader's called Capital J Java, okay, space capital D Discovery, then capital F Free, and then capital G Global, and then capital D Documentary. So I'm just going to repeat that again for you. All in spaces, Java Discovery, Free Global Documentaries. Okay, my delicious babies. Now, this video here, I think it's 50 odd minutes long, and the video should read Inside Naples, the dark reality of Italy's capital. Okay, my delicious babies. So I'm going to repeat this for you again. Inside Naples, the dark reality of Italy's capital. Okay, my delicious babies. So what's this about? What this is actually about, my delicious babies, is the Italian mafia. Okay, my delicious babies. So I've just started to watch it, okay? But what it is, I just needed to get my videos out to you all, my little lovelies, okay? And so I'm pretty sure that this will be a very interesting, video to, take a listen to. However, I personally feel myself, my delicious babies, that we are running the world by a mafia. Okay, my delicious babies, now then. So the next one, this is an hour long, my delicious babies. Now, I forgot to write down. I think it's is it about 2.38? I think it's 2.38 thousand. I'm going to write this down. I think it's only a small one at the moment. Well, it's larger than mine, my delicious babies, because I'm at 535, you know what I mean? What does that come to, my delicious babies? 13, yes. Anyway, so, but I don't worry about it. You see, mine is not for subscribers, because I do this as a hobby. Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? But I never knock anybody else who, they want to, earn a living, ching, 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 ching. You know what I mean? I've got no problem with that. But for myself, I'm more interested in banging these videos out so that one's bless her beautiful dear little souls, not in that way, not in that way, can then take a look at these different videos. You see what I mean? Okay, and with anybody not in that way, not in that way. Now then, this uploader is called Curious Banana. Okay, my delicious babies, it won't be a minute. I'm sorry about that, my delicious little babies. Yeah, so anyway, so that's to do with that. So basically, I'll be watching the rest of this today. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now then, that's to do with, the first video. Now, the second one, getting back to the matter in hand. Yeah, so please don't quote me. I think it's 2.38 thousand subscribers that this uploader's got. I know it must be either 2.38 or 2.43, something like that, okay? And this one is called capital C, Curious, space, capital B, Banana. Okay, my delicious little babies. So I'll repeat that again with spaces, Curious Banana. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now then, this is an interesting one, my delicious little babies. So this should read 50 medicines from the past that would be illegal today. Okay, my delicious babies, I'm just going to repeat this again for you. 50 medicines from the past that would be illegal today. Okay, my delicious babies, so you're probably wondering, well, actually, you wouldn't be by now, my delicious babies. Anybody is very kind enough. So thank you for any views, for any likes, the occasional comments. How I love you also, okay? Well, you will know that, when I give out information, there we are, there's always a reason why I do it. Do you see what I mean? I never ever do anything without any reason. But this here, it's very interesting, isn't it? I mean, when I was growing up, they used to, if you used to have something that never tasted well, I'm truly feel very blessed and let it continue. Um, you know, if you had something that never tasted very nice, well, that usually meant very hard that it would work a treat. But of course, we must remember this, mustn't we, my delicious babies? A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down, the medicine go down. You see, so when it tastes sweeter, um, it's very rare. Okay, my delicious babies, that it is really, that doesn't mean yes, that it is really, shall we say, good for you. It's more the taste, isn't it, my delicious little babies? Yes, okay. So, very interesting. It's like if you go back decades and decades ago, they used to sell, I mean, I should imagine before it had that aspartame in it, Lucasade and things like this now then, and they used to uh, treat, anybody, ones used to go in a pharmacy, they used to go and have a Lucasade, my delicious little babies, do you know what I mean? I never needed to stumble there actually, because I remember it from when I was little, and I'm still young now, my delicious little babies, but yeah. But then bit by bit, they bring in other things now then that really, to be quite honest with you, the long-term health benefits are really zero. There we are, absolutely zero. Now, I was talking to somebody, talking about medicine, the other day, my delicious babies, and apparently, a doctor had said to them, this is a doctor, you're not so friendly, quack quack, you know what I mean, my delicious babies, um, to keep out of the sun because of their diabetes. I said, Pardon me." I said, "Could you say that again, please?" So, to keep out of the sun because of their diabetes. So, as far as I'm concerned, my delicious babies, what the effing hell is all that about? Because I've never heard of that before. What has the sun got to do with diabetes? My delicious babies, kind. The sun is what I call, I was walking around with my beautiful little Ruby Tuesday, because my beautiful little Mason was not in the mood for walking around today. She's lounging about in the garden, mad little baby as well. You know, I actually said to, some dear ones who were walking their little baby now, and I said, if you look at the sun, I said, it's like an invisible drug. There we are. That's what I said. It's like an invisible drug. So, yes, you can see the sun, but what I mean is um, the benefits of it. Okay, a natural, isn't it? It makes you feel super duper delicious, especially for myself. I could live in, there we are, a hot climate, there we are, all year round, no problem at all. Do you understand what I mean? My delicious babes, but not everybody is the same. But it's like a feel good, so not only do you get a bit of colour, because I do look like a bottle of pasteurised milk. I'm starting to go brown now, delicious baby. It's kind of getting me old suntan. Do you know what I mean? Mads Lichtlich babies, the granting of summer sunshine, which I'm not complaining. But also for the fact, you hear ones, there's more who come out, and then you've got, music ones blasting their tunes in their brum brums wheels, Mads Lichtlich babies. It's just a real good, there we are, feel good energy. So when I say it's an invisible drug, yes, it's visible to see the sun, even though it looks a different colour these days. Mad babies. But the health benefits, there we are, far outweigh anything else. There we are. Do you know what I mean? Mad babies, okay? I've never met anybody, apart from when I was on holiday. Where was I? In Egypt. But I am going back to, when was it? 2010. And well, that was the year when everybody was, I've said this before years ago on my videos, that was the year when we were in a four-star, sorry, no need to stumble there, hotel, me and my two little daughters, okay, they're only little then. And then, very little. And then, of course, there was some sort of bug going around where everybody was getting, sickness. So they were projecting and, diarrhea and everything. Okay, and this was affecting, it doesn't matter whether it's a 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, it was affecting everybody. Mad delicious babies. And I spoke to one dear woman, she nearly passed away. She had to be on a drip. She had to be rushed to hospital, mad delicious babies, because she actually nearly passed. Okay, because you imagine if you're suffering like that, and the thing is, you're not being able to what do they call it, I suppose, keep yourself hydrated, that's the word, isn't it? Martinish babies, to keep yourself hydrated quickly enough, do you know what I mean? So of course she was becoming more and more poorly. But yeah, but bless her, she was alive to tell the tale. But, so sometimes you'll probably get a bit of sunstroke or something like this now, you know what I mean? It depends how long you've been out in the sun, whether you're drinking plenty of fluids, whether that be water, orange juice, or whatever juice you drink, okay? Because you have to keep yourself hydrated in this, whether it's, I feel, I'm not being, sarcastic to you, Martinish babies, but I would have thought it was ding, ding, dong, dong, there we are, common sense. You know what I mean? That would have been my thoughts, Martinish babies. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes. Okay. So, yes. So, but it'd be very interesting. Again, I've got to watch the rest of this video, but I'm just banging them out. Do you know what I mean? I do watch them. I do not just advertise ones and then say, oh, I'm not going to watch it, because no, I watch all of them, okay? But I have to pick and choose. Well, I don't have to, I choose to. I pick and choose which videos I feel, there we are, may benefit somebody else. So even though these medicines are now illegal, okay, my delicious babies, there could be hand in pieces, bits and pieces, just little bits and pieces. There we are, here and there. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? Yes. Now, finally, my delicious babies, so this is not going to be a long video today. I did me rolling pin one the other day, my Delish babies. Yeah, it's true. Ones with a, you know, gladly came out with her rolling pins, you know what I mean? You know, to, let's just say, stand up to any form of there we are tyranny, shall we say, my Delish babies, yes. Anyway, I'm not inciting anything, I'm just talking about decades ago how it would have been. Something is seriously wrong at the moment, Martin babies, and the reason why I say that is because, you know, even if we go back to the poll tax days, you know what I mean, Martin babies, everybody united, everybody got together, and you know they said no, we're not putting up with this shit. You know what I mean, Martin babies, okay, but let's just say since the old pandemic, Martin babies, well, it appears that a lot has changed, you know, and I'm not the only one saying it. There's many who are saying this, marginalistic babies, and there's plenty of YouTube videos also saying this. Okay, that there's something wrong somewhere. Do you know what I mean, marginalistic babies? Now, finally, now this is quite surprising. Okay, marginalistic babies, because this uploader, well, yesterday evening, what did I have? Was it 8, 7? Oh, I forgot now. Was it 7? Was it 787 or something? Anyway, but now it's gone up to 799,000 subscribers, Martin Stuck Babies, okay, as of this morning. And this uploader, and these will just be one-offs, Martin Stuck Babies. I'm pretty sure that I've advertised Java Discoveries, I think once before, I'm pretty sure, but that must be a very long time ago. But these will just be one-offs, okay? This uploader is called capital V Volks, as in Volkswagen. Yeah. Okay, Martlish babies. Volksgeist. It's all one word, Martlish babies, so I will spell it for you. Volksgeist. Volksgeist. Okay, Martlish babies. And this video, it's about nearly an hour and a half long. Okay, Martlish babies. And the video should read, Bill Gates owns the world. Okay, Martlish babies, I'm just going to repeat this again for you. Bill Gates owns the world. Okay, Martlish babies. I might have a little look at some other little videos of your man's here. Okay, Martlish babies, because yeah, he covers quite a bit, but this video here was a year ago, but it only had, up until yesterday evening, 5,000 something. It's very strange, isn't it, Martlish babies? You know what I mean? When you imagine how many know the name Bill Gates. I mean, that's a very low number, isn't it? You know, not subscribers, sorry, do forgive me, views, sorry about that. Okay, so it was 5,000 something views, which is very low. And I did see in the comments, not that I look at a lot of comments, but you know, I do tend to look at a few here and a few there. And somebody actually said, you know, words to effect, you know, I'm not saying the exact words, that basically that, you know, that's very low views. And there we are, I totally agree with that. Okay, Martin Stuck babies, but it shows you lots of clips from when Bill Gates was very young. Okay, Martin babies, so it shows from when he was young. There's a lot of clips showing this. Okay, Martin babies guy. And it talks about Microsoft, and it talks about, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's an interesting video to listen to, Martin babies. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So you know that's so probably after I've advertised, you know, the numbers will like they usually do. There we are. They usually go up. Do you know what I mean? Okay, but that's a good thing. You know, I see this, there we are, as a very good thing, my delicious babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes. Okay. Now, I'm also going to advertise, dear, not in that way, not in that way. So that's everything, isn't it? You need to remember to go backwards, you know what I mean? My delicious babies. Well, I'm also going to advertise World Space Alternative Space Media Space Rumble. Okay, my delicious babies, and that is dear Josh. Okay, his latest video, he's still at 17.4 thousand subscribers. My delicious babies, so the numbers just do not seem to be moving. But of course, there we are. It's all bad design, my delicious babies. But bless him, but not in that way, not in that way. But his latest video, my delicious babies, is to do with Bill Gates. There we are, and the new pandemic. Okay, my delicious babies. So they talk about what's his name, that flipping crook, as well. They're all crooks. My delicious babies. Tedros from the World Health Organization, my delicious babies, who's talking about that. So Josh's video, I think it's nearly 45 minutes long. Okay, my delicious babies. Now, when one say that, Bill Gates, like your man there, owns the world, no, he doesn't. Just like when they say Elon Musk, he's another crook. They're all flipping crooked, man. Okay, my delicious babies. Well, he doesn't own the world either. My delicious babies, you know what I mean? What it is, they just get paid a lot of ka-ching, ching, 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 ching. You know, it's like having a shop front, isn't it, my delicious babies, there at the front of the shop. But of course, there we are. There's always somebody behind at the back of the shop. You know what I mean, my delicious babies? Yes. Okay. So basically, we need to, there we are, stay up on this. Okay, my delicious babies, we need to stay, there we are, on the ball with all of this. Okay, my delicious babies, and not to get distracted with everything else. Okay, it's very easy to, please do not get me wrong, it is so easy to slip in, there we are, to slip into that mode. You know what I mean, my delicious babies? But when I advertise different videos, I advertise them because there we are, it will link to something else. There we are, that's why I do what I do. Okay, my delicious babies. Sorry, excuse me, and that is all my videos for today. There's nothing else, my delicious babies. Do you see what I mean? But yeah, very interesting. Now, when I get to upload my video, my delicious babies, it will probably be back on blank tape. It looks like a blank tape, my delicious babies. So it'll show up with my birth rate, and everything on my video. But this is YouTube's way of saying, no, we're not liking. We're not liking what you're saying. Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? Well, I get this, there we are, all of the time. All of the time, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? But I mean, I've got every right to say what it is that I want to say. So, unlike some other uploaders where they do this for a living, bless them, that's what they do, okay? For myself, well, no. I do not, I feel, have to watch my P's and Q's because at the end of the day, they're not paying me anyway. And neither do I want to be paid for this. I'm doing this because I believe, okay, and there's others, bless them, not in that way, not in that way, who also believe, there we are, that we are being treated, there we are, in a disgusting, there we are, and appalling manner. My delicious babies, you know what I mean? And if we do not say anything about this, then that's like these saying, to whom it may concern, and the little lackeys. Okay, my delicious babies, that it's quite all right for us to be treated in this manner when it clearly is not. Okay, my delicious babies, and that's the point, there we are, that's the point that I'm making. You know what I mean, my delicious babies? So that's the end of my video, but I hope that any of the information that I give out, um, on my videos, other videos to look at, I'm talking about, that there we are, that you do get some benefit from it, that you can take a very good look and you can say, okay, yeah, I can see what your woman there's saying. Do you understand what I mean? Yes, I can. Let's not forget um, capital G, Gary, space, capital W, Waterman on YouTube, Martin Babies, is now up to 5.9 thousand subscribers. Okay, Martin Babies. And again, this is another uploader, there we are, who should have far more um, subscribers, there we are, than what he has got. But what they're doing, I do not mean this in literal terms, it's figure of speech, but what they're doing, okay, Mads babies, they've got a stranglehold, there we are. So if you're talking bullshit, then one's videos get out. But if you're talking about serious now, which is concerning you and I and the rest of the world, apart from a few countries who know nothing about what's going on, well, that's what they're doing. So they're shadow banning, they're making sure that you can talk in your camera, but then nobody's really listening to you. Do you see what I mean, Martin? This is the game they're playing. Now, me personally, I happen to see that, if we look at it another way, I happen to see that as being illegal, because we should all be able to have, there we are, a freedom of speech. Okay, Martin babies, okay, and what Gary does, I'll just explain again, not in that way, but he spends a lot of time on his own. He's living in a tent at the moment. He's worrying every day in case, they want to murder him. I mean, it must be horrible living on your nerves like that. You know what I mean, Mads, babies? Just because, there we are, because you're giving out information, and this is to do with Companies House in our old England, Mads, babies, and what he does, he links up the different businesses, and he explains it, okay? And somebody else is Simon space Dixon on YouTube, Martlish Babies. He's now up to 156. So it's still at 156,000 at the moment, Martlish Babies. When I first advertised him, he was at 150. Okay, when I advertised Gary, bless him, he was at about 3,000 something. Okay, Martlish Babies. So the word is getting out. You know what I mean? Martlish babies, there we are. And this is what we need to continuously do. There we are. Continuously do this, Martlish babies. Do you see what I mean? Okay? And with my videos, there's always someone seeing and there's always someone hearing. Okay, Martlish babies. So one way or another, my information always gets out, Martlish babies. You know what I mean? And I should just keep it going. Okay? Oh, and one last thing. I've got in my lounge at the moment, Martin babies. This is a cabinet from down the road, and I wish that he would have kept it. He's an elderly gentleman, bless him, because he sold his house. And this cabinet I've got is over 100-year-old. Okay, the only thing that's wrong with it at the bottom, sorry, Martin babies, it needs another part put in. But all the drawers work, everything works. I'll take a little picture of it. Martlish babies, okay? I'll take a little or a little tiny video on it. Okay, Martlish babies. But if you see there we are, the craftsmanship of this chest of drawers. And I offered it to someone, Martlish babies, but they haven't got enough room at the moment. But they said it's really lovely. It is really lovely. It's like the drawers. It's like they look a tiny little bit like little bows, if you know what I mean. It's in a funny sort of way. But I'll take a little bit of. But I thought no, I took it out the skip, and I got other neighbours, my beautiful little neighbours, bless them, okay, down the road and across the road. To help me bring, and I also went and got some old VHS. The what's it called? The you used to have these little video players, and there's a lot of BBC um, like these tapes, my Delish baby. I need to go through them, and then I should go down probably later. There we are, and see if I can find anything else. You know what I mean, my Delish babies, okay? So yeah, made sure I got this little baby house. You know what I mean? You cannot afford to throw away such a beautiful set. There we are, set of drawers, because she's in really good condition, my delicious babies. This is what I do. I pick things up, my delicious babies. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with it. I know, there we are, that this will get to a good home. If I had the, in all fairness, if I had the kaching, I would get this bit repaired here and I'd get that restored. I probably, in all fairness, if I'm being truthful, now my dear dad, he used to he used to do all it when we were growing up, my Delish babies, because my dear dad is, there we are, a very skilled carpenter. Okay, he probably doesn't do as much now because he's over 80 now. Anyway, that's not all my Delish babies, that's what these efforts tell us, right? But he used to make all of the bookcases and with glassing and everything. He used to do, there we are, all of that, my delicious babies came, and he used to do that. Books galore, books, 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 books. He could read a thick book in one day and tell you everything about that book, okay, and store it up here in his noddle. Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? He's just, what do you call him, a bookworm? He just loved, from when he was very tiny, you know. And even when my beautiful dear little, oh, I'm so beautiful dear little nanny and granddad, she used to read when she was expecting both my dad and his sister. Okay, my dear dad and his sister, and she used to read to them when she was expecting. And then, of course, as soon as they come, she used to sit him down, and then read and teach him to read. Do you see what I mean, Martha? She was very much like that, my beautiful dear little Nana. She adored her books, you know what I mean, okay? Let me tell you, in my beautiful dear little nanny and granddad's home, yes, you would have bookcases, loads of books, okay, my delicious babies. But getting back to this, he used to like darker colours, like my dear daddy used to like darker colours, and he used to do all proper nice, beautiful and varnished and, sanded down, varnished, everything, But I'm not so keen on the darker coloured wood. I mean, I love to see it like on trees and in nature and everything, but I just prefer lighter things, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't want it to be, uh, maybe not, I'd probably like it a bit lighter. Do you know what I mean, Martinish babies? Because I just think sometimes a dark wood can, you know what I mean, in a room, it can. I just like bright things, my delicious babies. That's just the way I am. Do you know what I mean? But I'm going to put a little tiny, shorty video to show you, my delicious. She's so beautiful, honestly. But of course, to get something like this cabinet set of drawers, one, two, three, it's got 6 sets of drawers. It's really lovely, it is. But to get this restored, there we are, would cost me some kaching to do it, and I just do not have it to do it. Do you understand what I mean? So if I cannot have it, I'll just keep her. But she's really old fashioned, you know what I mean? And the old type, it's just amazing when you see this piece and you see how things are made now, because for a lot of stuff, it's all, what's it called inside? It's like this chipboard stuff. It's like that Mads Little Babies, you know what I mean? So it's just not made the same as this. Okay, Mads Little Babies, but I'll show you. But she's not going nowhere. She's going to stay with myself. Because you never know, I might be able to get her restored and that, you know what I mean, at some point, get her, redone, you know what I mean? Just a little bit lighter, I would like, if you're going to have any colour, nice and light. Not white or anything, but you know what I mean? Just a nice type of lighter, if you know what I mean. Okay, my delicious babies, so that's the end of my video. I'm going to stop rambling on now, okay? But this is what I do, my delicious babies, and I'll go and take another look and I'll see what else I can get. Anyway, I know the dear gentleman, and I used to know his beautiful dear little wife when she was here, do you know what I mean? Okay, they travelled all over the world. They never had any little babies, any little bairns. because I suppose they chose not to. Some choose to and some choose not to. Do you know what I mean? And they just went travelling all over the world, mad little babies. You know what I mean? So they have everything from everywhere. But he just said, "Well, I cannot take it all." Because he's moved from a house now. He's bought a bungalow. You see what I mean? So he's also sold his other house. So the point is, he said, "I just cannot take everything with myself." Do you know what I mean? So he has to choose what to take and what not to take. But I wish I had said, because I know for a fact he would have kept that indoors for me. Do you know what I mean? Mad little babies. So, but I might knock on his door later and I might say, if there's anything else, let me have a butcher's at it. That means a look. Let me have a look, and see if there's anything else. You know what I mean? Okay. And then I found something else in there. It was they're about 40 kaching now. And what it is, it's like a little box. It's made out of pan, and then it's a little box, and then then you got a little lid. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's like a really, really light pine colour, really lovely. Not for myself, but anyway, some beautiful dear little neighbours, not just a hop, skip, and a jump. I said, why don't you take this? I said, this will be useful. So, of course, we all carried it to theirs as well. You know what I mean? That's what I feel. There we are. This is about. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. If somebody throws something out, there's an old-fashioned saying, isn't the Martlish babies? I used to say it a lot when I used to do my readings on YouTube. Okay. The old-fashioned saying is, what one man's junk is, there we are, is another man's treasure. So even though it doesn't seem like a lot to somebody else, it could be the world. Do you see what I mean? Just like for myself. But look at all the help that I received, there we are, to bring all of these back. How everybody, there we are, helped one another. Look at that. And all it meant is just a knock on the door. You know what I mean? There's somebody at the door. You know what I mean? And then, how everybody works, there we are, together. Do you see what I'm saying? So we get back into community, back into our natural spirit, and everything like this now then. Do you see? And not only that, but with the stuff that I'm taking out, it's helping the dear gentleman, bless him, you know what I mean? Because he doesn't have to then keep getting the skip emptied, does he? Do you know what I mean? So, it's banging all the way around, isn't it, mad delicious? But there we are, mad delicious babies. But I'm definitely going to take one of those so you can see it. It's so beautiful. Now I've got one in my bedroom, okay, because this room's going to be done. Okay, mad delicious babies, and that's a beautiful teal colour. Another skilled carpenter, mad delicious babies, you know what I mean? And that is over 50-year-old. It was a wedding gift, and they're still together now. Beautiful, beautiful, dear little Spanish family. A beautiful mummy and daddy, who live in Spain now, delicious babies, you know what I mean? And then they got it all restored, and then the beautiful little daughter had it, and then, she gave it to myself. Do you see? And it's in immaculate condition, and that's over 50-year-old. Do you see what I mean? But when you see the difference between these and what we've got now, that's why antique dealers, there we are, that's why they do so well. You know what I mean? Because not everybody wants the new crap. You know what I mean, Martlish babies? They want something that's old, something that, it can have a value, we could ching, 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 ching. But it's more, there we are, the history, there we are, behind that item or that piece of furniture. That is what is more now. I know the history behind this piece of furniture as I do with the other piece of furniture, because this one here was actually the dear gentleman's beautiful dear little wife's auntie. Do you see? So it goes back over 100 years. Do you see what I mean, Martlish babies? And it was just too good to throw out, So I don't care if one say you get something out, skip, who gives a fiddler's F? I do not. If I leave something outside, Martlish babies, which isn't very often, but if I do, there we are, you guarantee, because I clean it, it's spotless, it's gone. Okay, it doesn't take many hours for it to be gone. Do you see what I mean, Martlish babies? And that's how it should be. Somebody else is going to, there we are, benefit from something else. You see what I mean? We need to get back, I feel, there we are, to that way of thought. Okay, Martlish babies? So until my next video, because I'm going to be putting on my bikini top. It's the first time I wore it actually. My dear daughters bought it for me. Was it a couple of years ago now? No, they bought me four. They bought me a beautiful, because I like bright colours, a beautiful luminous pink, royal blue. They're lovely actually, and then lovely stripe ones, and then I've got two lots of stripe ones. So it's really lovely in this weather. You know what I mean? You feel free, as free as a bird. You know what I mean? Mardenish babies. I just like to feel free in this weather. You know what I mean? Like this. This is too much to wear in this weather. You know what I mean, Mardenish babies? It just, even though it's light, it feels too heavy. Do you know what I mean, Martinish babies? And anyway, not only that, but I want to get as much as a tan as what I can. Okay, Martinish babies. So until my next video, thank you so very much. I know you think I go on sometimes, but there we are. But I do mean well, Martinish babies, you know what I mean? But my last video, not that one, yeah, that took with rolling pin one. That took the one before this one. That took all night to upload all the way till the next day, Marslish baby. So can you see how this is? There we are, rocking and rolling, Marslish baby. So I do not have to put it on Notify Me. You know what I mean? Well, I don't know how you do it anyway, but I wouldn't do it anyway. But I do not have to do that because, you know what I mean? It takes all flipping day and night to flipping upload anyway. You can see what the crack is, can't you, Marslish babies? So I don't know how long this video will take. But anyway, I so very much appreciate, and I'm very thankful and grateful that you've even taken the time if you happen to cross my channel, and how I love you all so. Please enjoy yourself wherever you are in the world, all right? Please take care of yourselves. Please try to take care of others, because we are in a bonkers, crackers and crazy world, okay? And may you all have full protection, okay? How I love you. Take care. Thank you. Bye.